further back than that, but that's the person who can say at least 18 years. A little bit of information about our programs for you. We do put out the course catalog 4 times a year. We no longer mail that to all of the patrons. That was a huge expense. So in order to eliminate that expense, we sent a postcard to everyone and said, we can do a couple of different things. You can just access our website to get that course catalog, or we can mail you one if you prefer that, and about 20 people responded, and so we can mail about 20 of these brochures to people in the community, and then we send about 2,500 emails out to people when the course catalog becomes available. You know, about 2,500 people respond to us and say, I'd like you to email me that, and so we do that, and that will go out tomorrow for those of you who are watching for it. There are a variety of offerings, as you can see in that. They include fitness, nutrition, finance, sports, dance, crafts, and hobbies. A lot of activities for our youth in the community. And if you go out to some of our schools on an evening, you'll see kids playing basketball, dancing, all kinds of exciting things that they're participating in. During the fall, winter, and spring, we don't have final summer numbers. We had 1,689 participants. Those are not unique users necessarily. Those are people who signed up and took a class. So one person may have taken 3 classes, but those are people who access classes. And then we had an additional 30 participants in our Ed2Go program. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. The Ed2Go program is something that people can access online. They have courses. I've just passed something out. There are career certificates available to folks, people who have been doing some retraining, maybe as they've been laid off or seeking additional training. You can see on the front page of that there are accounting courses, QuickBooks, Microsoft, Excel, lots of career and professional opportunities there. So perhaps more than the other class, these are things that people would use for retraining opportunities. Ed2Go itself does not cost East County Community Ed anything. It's when the participants register and take a course there, Ed2Go gets a portion of that fee, and we get the other portion of that fee. And so we have found people enjoy being able to access those courses. Let's have a list of all of the courses we offered last year, as well as the number of participants for each one of those classes or activities. So last year, 48 of our instructors, which is the bulk of them, were from Washougal. The payment structure is that 40% of the fees are paid to the instructor. I'm sorry, 60% of the fees are paid to the instructor, and 40% support the program. So if a course isn't offered, other than the intangibles of putting together a course description, a little bit of staff time, there aren't costs associated with that class necessarily. And for most courses, the only costs are the instructor. Some of them a little bit of supplies, particularly the preschool, which is the early learning offering in the space. Those have supplies. The other, and fixed staffing costs, the other ones, the supplies come out of the instructor costs. So those are taken out. Say, for example, a pottery class has $50 that the instructor needs to buy. That comes out of the revenue from the class before the 60% is given to the instructor. So the city's contribution is about 39 cents per resident of Washougal. This compares extremely favorably to most other rec programs. We're not supporting a community center. We don't have a large staff. We do have one full-time and one part-time employee supporting this. But because we use the facilities for free at the school district, we don't have any facility costs. We don't have any management costs of those types. That's a pretty great price for this. And then the city contribution supports staffing for the program and supplies, which is available to all the residents of the city. And then we do some exchanging between Camas and Washougal. Of course, as you can see from the brochure, some of those classes are offered through the Camas portion, and our residents are able to transfer back and forth between the 2 programs. Are there questions for me tonight, or other information that I can supply?
I just, so community ed classes would be open to anybody in the area. So if they don't live within the city limits of Camas or Washougal, that would still be open to them at the same price as a city resident?
That's correct. Unlike some, we do not have a fee structure which separates between city and non-city residents.
And then Camus, do they contribute an equal amount as Washougal does every year,
Camus,
$5,500?
I don't know what their city supports. They do have 2 staff members like ours. Their staff members are housed in the Washougal School District in the same portable as our staff members.
Okay.
So it is really a seamless integration of those 2 programs.
This is a great program. My daughter did tumbling and ballet, and through one of your programs about a year ago. It's good.
And I've taken Tai Chi from Jill Mitchell a couple of times.
Yeah, me too.
So Rebecca, the Ed2Go programs, are those online or are those one-on-one or are they
They're
classroom?
online. They're online.
So you have to know how to be online before you can take the kind of. I'm still at the point I need somebody to go, push that button, now push, okay. I didn't know that you offered those. We've got a couple of staff that we sent over to courses in Vancouver and over to Portland as we picked up newer pieces of software that they didn't get quickly, so,
It's a great thing to check on and see if they're offering them.
yeah, hadn't even thought about it. Other questions from council? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the
That was
opportunity
easy.
to be here tonight.
Absolutely. Okay, human resources. Chief, were you taking this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yep.
One of our firefighters has a medical condition that prohibits him from wearing a face mask or anything around the chest that could cover his chest. So he's been off duty for in excess of 90 days right now. And according to the contract, he's only allowed to be on light duty for a 90-day period, and then at that point on, he has to take sick leave. So what I've asked is to extend his that 90-day period where they can be on light duty to 180 days. Larry, he's the firefighter in question here. He's not doing make work around the station. He's doing fire inspections. He's doing prevention. He's even responding on first aid calls sometimes as a third out firefighter. So I guess I'm just asking to extend outside the contract to 180 days instead of the 90 days that's in the contract.
That's the MOU with IAFF?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, the union has to do it as a memo of understanding rather than through any other means, so.
Chief, is the medical prognosis that he will be able to return to full duty?
He thinks he goes into the doctor next month. He has a couple more procedures to be done, and then he believes by the first of the year he should be able to be back online. In that time when his 180 days runs out in the first of the year, then he'll be taking sick leave and such.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that like Ron indicated though is that one of the things we've not been able to, with lack of personnel, is keep up on all the fire marshal duties. And Larry's just knocking these things out.
Oh, good.
So it's,
Okay.
he's not ill, he's just not capable of doing the inside the fire structure fires.
Yeah, he can
So
drive the engine, he can
Yeah,
operate
he's-
the pump,
Okay.
you can't just
It's
consider
not
him a
light
full-time
duty, but it's
firefighter.
not full duty.
It's not full duty.
What's the plan if we get to 180 days and he's not gonna be able to come back?
What we've indicated is at the end of 180 days, that's the limit. He either has the options of going into his sick leave or trying to find some other sort of a remedy for it. But as far as this is concerned, stretching it to 180 days is as far as we're willing to go.
And the union came to you with that?